This week on the show, we're featuring Opal, laboratory sapphire under the microscope cam, pie on Why'd I Buy That, 15 new jokes, and so many thanks we're giving them away. Political correctness is getting so bad, the last time I clapped my hands filed domestic charges against me. Let's start the show. Did I mess up that joke? The last political correctness is getting so bad, the last time I clapped, my hands filed domestic charges. There, it needs a comma. But we got it. So let's start the show. There we are. Piece of opal there. Nice clean piece on the side of it. Gotta saw through all the problems. When I saw, I don't saw the clean area. I always saw into the problems and then grind some of the problems back a little ways to leave the essence of the beauty in the stone. That's it for the saw. We'll come back to that lepidolite that I'm holding right there in the next couple of weeks. Turns out Kenny Eshelman's favorite color is purple, which means we need to get him a piece of that. It's like a purple granite, right? How are you doing today, Mr. Weasley? I hope you are having a fine day. Fine day. So there's like this layer in here, right? And there are some bubbles and problems, and I actually grind down through them. But I leave the layer. We'll look at that under the microscope cam. But this side, the bottom of the stone right now, is actually the top of the stone in the picture. This area is what you look into, and then these are the areas. And I was so upset with the picture, I couldn't manage to get the redness, because it's a white and clear and yellow stone, but it reflects like a redness because of the opalescence. So cool. Love this stone. Wish it would come through on the picture. Did a little bit in the video. I put a video on my Instagram, but we'll see if it'll come through under the microscope cam. I bet it will. Let's find out, shall we? Thank you for coming by the show. How are y'all doing today? Hope you're ready to have a great week. It's gonna be fantastic. Nope. Click on that. Nope. Click on this. Click on there. Hi. How are you? Cheers. Thank you for coming by the show. Go Bears. Or, it's not even bears, but sometimes I feel like a bear, particularly when I'm hibernating. Okay, wait. Where are we at? Microscope portion. Trying to get to the microscope portion. Camera. Gotta get the camera out. No, chairs in the way. One thing after another. We will not be defeated. Oink. Y'all ready to do some eating? I sure hope so. It's getting to be the eating time of year. Well, it kind of has been with all the harvesty stuff, right? But more especially with Thanksgiving. Because that, we give thanks for all the food, right? I mean, that's what I'm thankful for. At least that every year. Yeah. I mean, too much food, really. And too much is pretty easy to get to. Where are we? Doing things? Coming up with ideas? I want to be kind of careful with this opal, because with opal, you've got like all those little plays of color, those little flares and flickers, and it's like it's such a thin little layer of that stuff. You don't want to grind through it, but you want to grind down enough so that you can see it. And I didn't know if this had any of that going on or not. I think it's mostly just a clear piece. And so I kind of wanted to get down, and then I was going to facet it up into something I didn't really know what. Had to get down to it and see it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking all the little specks of dirt off and kind of slowly grinding through them. And then what I did is I wound up getting down, and then I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Just off of the flare, because it's got that color that it returns. And we're going to see if it will show under the microscope cam or not. I don't even know. Okay, so yeah, it's showing a little bit of the yellow, but it's not really showing as much as the redness of it as I thought. There. You get a little bit of that. It's like it goes from a light yellow, white to light yellow over to like this orangey-ish red. And that's not really coming through. Not as much as it does in real life. And it's got this one speck in it. I thought about trying to grind down. I can't really see how deep that speck is. Plus it kind of adds a little bit of spot character. So I wasn't quite sure about that. We might actually grind down and try to get rid of that, because I need to get rid of some of these scratches on the surface. Some of those numerous scratches. So numerous. I think it would really help light it up and lighten it up if I got rid of those scratches in the surface. They're deep scratches. So deep. But to be honest, there, oh man, it's getting close to that red orange that it really shows. But it's not fully coming through under the microscope part. It's a pretty good sized gem too. I mean, for a piece of opal, you know. It's got a lot of character. I like how it changes color. White to yellowish. Kind of a bluish white too. Not so much of a yellowish white. And then over into the red zone of that orangishness. I was actually going to do some Amazonite. And I'm going to show that under the microscope cam. Yeah. But it busted on me. I'm wondering if I should glue it back together. Here's the gem. Look at that. Beautiful yellow, orange, white. All kinds of different colors coming through on it. It just really, there. See that reddish, orangish look? That is the stuff I was talking about that I can't seem to get in that picture up there. At least I got, it shows a little bit of the white versus the yellow, but it still won't give me that fiery orangish look. That only comes through at the right angle. But it's cool. And then you can kind of see that band I was talking about. Let's see if I can show that under the microscope cam. There. There's that band. That band of beauty. Coming through at just the right angle. I like this gem. Oh, there in the video, you can see all the like powdery bubbles and stuff that I ground off of the top of the gem. And then that's when the color started coming through. Was once I got that going. How you doing this week? Hope you're doing okay. Sunny Gemstones. I got a stone to show you, Sunny. Actually, I got a pair of them. Let's see. Kiwi claw. Okay, kiwi. I got some. I got 2 boxes. I got one for kiwi, and I got one for Christina and Sun Go Squad. And actually, I got 4 boxes. The other one is for Charisse, and then the 4th one is for Mr. Ron Weasley, who is here to play with the chatbot. Benny Loco made it. Benny, I hope I picked the right color. What kind of opal is that? Ethiopian, Sonny. Ethiopian opal. Ethiopian. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Where are we at? The chatbot is working. We got awesome people here. Okay, so Sonny, Ron Weasley is a character in Harry Potter. And in Harry Potter, they don't drink root beer, they drink butter beer. And so when I say Ron Weasley, I'm like, crack open a butter beer. It just makes for a great, crossover. Joey T. Pence. Hey, Joe, I tagged Roxy in this, 3D printed thing on Facebook. And it's like this character, and he's holding a screwdriver head. And it's the screwdriver when you can put different bits in the end. And then he's got a shield, and all the different bits are poking in the shield. And so it looks like a spiky shield and a club. It's really cool. It's a 3D printed character. I thought that you could probably print one off and it would look really neat. Because just to bring everyone up to speed, Joe has been using a 3D printer to print all kinds of things. He's been using CAD. He needs to be like a CAD engineer because he's really good at it. And maybe he is. I haven't talked to him in too long. But he printed off this mask and he put some wires and some LEDs in the eyes. It's really cool stuff. Let's see. I know you picked the right color. Because they're all the right color, right, Benny? Exactly. I can make that for sure. Absolutely you can. Because you're awesome like that. And that's why we're going to make it an awesome week. Because we got some awesome people. And you got the power to do that. Sonny, this is a piece of citrine that I've finally, after a kerjillion years, been able to get to. So if you're still here, this is one of the pieces I've been working on for you. And we're going to feature this. It's so included. Look at all those inclusions in it. But, and it's there's so much zoning going on. You can even see some of the zoning and all that. But see, when I flip it over, I got a nice 45 going on. And I even rounded the edges. So that it bounces the color around and kind of makes it a little more orangey-ish altogether. Sort of like an overall altogether oranginess. So I'm excited about this one. And I'm doing this one for Sunny. But I was going to show you, before I get into the laboratory sapphire. Oh, I got a 3D printer. Ooh, what kind of printer? XYZ DaVinci 1 amp. Okay, so this was going to be the feature. Oh, we're out of video, aren't we? This was going to be the feature until someone broke it while performing the final polish. How do I do the shame on you towards myself? It's the one-handed or one-fingered shame. I never understood that. What are you doing? Brushing the dust off of your finger onto someone? You are a dirty person. Because I have dusted you with dirt. Is it like some kind of a magic thing? Probably. Opal try 3. Opal try 2. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Weasley. I was thinking about making a burger, and there's nothing like a burger with a salad on top. Right, Joe? Okay. We're talking about the Whopper. The Whopper from Burger King. You get this burger, and it's a burger with a salad on top. Salad burger. It's a meal on a bun. See, wasn't this gonna be a cool gem? I am so sad. I'm like, maybe I should glue it together. I'm thinking about gluing it together. It still won't work because it's got that crack. Man, I was so hyped. I was like, look at how awesome that is. It's a square, it's an oval but flat sides. It's got the 4 and they were all working out. And I made it just too thin and I wound up snapping it. I gotta be easy with this fragile Amazonite. This is the second stone that I've screwed up. Like as an accident that I've broken after it was ready to go. It was like all good and ready to go, and then I screwed it. The other one was a piece of blue apatite that was really thin. I wound up dropping it and chipping the corner. It was going to be a feature, but it didn't quite make it. Not sure what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'll glue it back together or I'll probably just recut it or something. I don't know. I've never glued a stone back together. I have a Lick 5 Pro. Ooh, professional licking. I like the big build plates. Still at work, wanted to drop in and say hi. Hi, Charisse. I was just telling people that I got a box for you. I got 4 boxes, and one of them is yours. I went to the store, wound up getting them. I need Infinity Gauntlet stones. Joe, I was looking at that. I was like, I wonder if I could shape some stones up to be like that. And a lot of them are like rough stones, but I mean, it wouldn't be too hard to make some pretty nice ones. Casuality of and nature of the beast. There you go. Benny Loco. Thanks for being understanding. It's good to see you guys. You're making my week. And as soon as I say that, 710 drops in. How's it going, 710? One more stone, and this is something new to me. This is my very first laboratory-grown gemstone. Bam. Look at that. It's a 99.6 carat sapphire. Very blue. Very, very blue. And it's real sapphire, real corundum, grown in a laboratory. $11. Not bad, huh? This is going to be exciting. I think I'm going to go for an emerald cut, and then we're going to shave a little bit off here, and we're going to shave a little bit off of the back side of each side, so we'll actually have enough to make a couple extra pieces. And I was like, you know what? I just got it in the mail. We're going to show it under the microscope. Okay, so you see how it's generally a blue color. So it's got the beauty, but then you see those flares, that bright blue, that lighter blue that comes through. When you have the facets on a gemstone, the idea is to get the light to go down and hit one and bounce off the other and come back. And so you have the facets on the top that help it facilitate that. And the basic idea, if you're going to sell gemstones, you want to sell the flickery flash. People love sparkles. And so you want enough facets on the stone so that no matter where the stone is facing, your ring is pointing, there is always some bright, flashy flare of that color coming out. Now, I'm not sure. I mean, I could keep it as big as possible if I do a square, but I won't have as many flickery flares. I could do a brilliant cut, which is the standard basic way to make that happen, but I'm not sure if I really want to do that because we'll lose a lot of stone. I don't know. We're going to find out. And it's going to be fun finding out on the next episode of Tup That Sapphire. Tup That Sapphire. You know? Tell me what's up with that. It's going to be quite the thing to grind. The sucky part about grinding it is that it's so hard, I think. I mean, on the Mohs hardness scale, it's like diamond, sapphire, topaz, quartz, and then on down the line. So it's like the second hardest natural mineral, even though it's a laboratory grown thing. I'm probably going to have to invest in some new laps, which are like $10 a piece. And I'm probably going to need like 3 of them. Yeah. So anyway, that's going to be a thing. But I thought, oh man, we're going to show it under the microscope cam. Look at how clean that is. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, we'll get into that. Lighting up my saber. Fingerprints. I know it's part of the fact that it's got this like smooth surface on the top. Those are fake fingerprints. They're someone else's 710. They don't belong to me. They belong to someone else. Look at that mirror finish. So smooth. I think it was made with the Boole method, which is a way they use like pressure and chemical drip to make them. Anyway, that's what we got for the microscope portion. I'm already running long. I wanted to do the show more in like a half an hour format, because I typically run about 40 minutes, about 30 to 50 minutes, and I wanted to try and keep it down to a nice tight little half an hour, maybe 25 minutes. I want to make sure I give you something to be thankful for, because it is Thanksgiving week. Whoa. Elvis left them there. Just 710s on top of it. He knows. He knows what's going on. Elvis's fingerprints. Yep. You guys are hilarious. You know what else is hilarious? Pie. That's why I buy that. Actually, that's not why I bought that. I didn't buy pie because it's hilarious. I bought pie because it's delicious. Yes. And I know what you guys are thinking. This is the same pictures from last week. What's the deal? Is this your favorite part of the store? Yes. Leave me alone. Shut up. This is pie. This is the pie section of the store. I love pie. Why? Because they have chocolate pie. Yeah, I also like fruit pies. I like, all kinds of pies. I was actually talking to Emily and Kenny Eshman about Hostess pies. And then we got into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pie, which I thought was weird. When I was a kid, I was like, wait a minute. Why would turtles be promoting eating turtle pie? Because wouldn't turtle pie have turtle in it? But then, I remember being a kid, and you don't know what you like. And so it's like, well, I like anything with Ninja Turtles. So I'll take a Ninja Turtle pie. And just to bring everyone up to speed, it was a Hostess pie, standard, Hostess pie. It looks like a letter D shaped pie. And, they got the glaze on it, but instead it had green frosting and like a yellow vanilla pudding. And I was so proud of myself because that was the very first Hostess pie where I was able to eat the whole thing. I don't know, I must have been like 5 or 6. And apparently they didn't sell them very long because I looked for them again later but couldn't find them. And they don't have a very good review online, but they do have like a cult following of people who remember it and liked it at the time. It's weird. It's a pudding pie. Pudding and pie, baby. And it had that green glaze frosting. It was delicious. And we got to talking about that because we were talking about pies. Anyway, what did I buy? I bought pie because it's delicious, chocolate. And because I like, pie with chocolate. And because They have a pie with chocolate. And which chocolate pie did I buy? Chocolate. Because there's the chocolate cream pie, and then there's the chocolate satin pie. And the chocolate cream pie is good. It's got like cream and chocolate, and it's kind of like an Oreo sort of, but with pudding. And it's in the white box. But that was $1 more, or rather the green box was $1 less, because I think it was on sale. And it's got more chocolate per bite. Chocolate. So I bought the green box pie, and I wound up opening the door and grabbing one. I didn't really care because it's cold outside, so I just grabbed the one off the top. Usually, like if it's warmer outside, I'll grab one that's in the back because it's colder. But I just grabbed the one off the top, off the front, and I was like, yep, take my money. I'm leaving here with this pie. It's gonna happen. And it did. And it was good. I enjoyed it. Have you ever bought pie? And which pie did you buy? There's a lot of pie to choose from. Which one did you buy? And why did you buy that? I want to know. Those pies were awesome. Yeah, the turtle pies were amazing. Hostess pies were great before the baker strike. And then that buyout. And now everything tastes like wax. Probably limited edition. Get your finger on the bolts on the grinder. 710, those brass knurled thumb screws. Yes, I do hit those, and occasionally, like you see, it's the grinder shroud has that flat area, and yes, my finger has been pinched in that, and it goes numb a little bit. Interesting fact: I was originally, when I was on my way to the store, I was gonna get some wing nuts. I thought wing nuts. I'm glad I saw the knurled thumb screws and opted for that, because the wing nuts would probably shred my skin like a skill saw. Whereas the knurled thumb screws, I bump them all the time. I bump them and it's fine. It's just when it gets pinched in there, I'm like, ow, stupid, you machine. Anyways, that's why you gotta exercise safety. And I do wear safety glasses. Got some brand new safety glasses. I keep them clean so that they don't suck. That's one of the stupid things about like artificial intelligence. You know, with my phone, I keep like, come on phone, autofocus. And next thing, I got some blurry safety glasses on, and I'm like, autofocus, come on, autofocus. Oh wait. These aren't smart safety glasses. It's just dumb Jacob. Wing nuts would be bad. They'd probably tear the wings right off of my fingers. And for some reason, my fingers have wings. Pie. I'm thankful for Benny Loco because you're fantastic. You are all fantastic. Let's see. Okay. So that's it for the Why'd I Buy That portion. Speaking of letting the show run long, hey, and jokes, right? Because we're getting to the joke portion of the program. Do you guys see that gal who was getting heckled? It was like something about the audience member heckled her, and she said something back, and then the audience member threw their beer at her. And she like dodged the beer. It hit the wall behind her. It probably wasn't going to hit her anyway, but still she dodged it. And the beer hit the floor. And she's so manly. She reached down and picked up the beer and chugged it right on stage. That was a top-notch Trump right there. She just like totally won. I can't even think of the word. She I don't know. It'll come to me later. After the show, I'll leave it in the comment section below. Tell me what you think the word should be. I need the feedback. But anyway, she championed that altercation with that heckler because she picked up the beer and chugged it. Anyway, to get to my point, Tom Kelly is going to be interviewing her on his show after my show. So I got to get through the joke portion of the show, which So far, 50% of the people say they like the joke portion. It's a hard choice, right? I mean, I like them all. That's why I put them in the show. But I didn't know what to do for the poll, and I was like, we're gonna do something thankful relating to Thanksgiving for the show, for the people, for your awesomeness, because you're great like that. So let's see. Broken and shredded, right, Joe? Man, that's one of the cool things about that shroud is how like there's enough clearance for it. I actually had to build that shroud out with some washers so that it would catch all the dust and water as it flings off of the thinger. But then also, in order to get those thumb screws to work, the mandrel, which is the plate that I put the lap discs on, I had to drill that out, and then I put bolts through it, and I silicone them on the backside, so they're a little bit flexible. And then in order to be able to keep them still and hold against them while I do the thumb screw, you'll see me reach behind it. I actually had to cut out the shroud on the backside. And I put my finger back there and spun the wheel to see if it's going to take my finger off. Because I wonder, this thing's from Harbor Freight, you know, that switch, and I keep touching it with my wet hands to turn it on and off. I keep wondering if it's going to like short out and then kick on out of nowhere. And so I put my hand back there, and it's okay. We're good. But, I mean, it's working. It's hanging in there. That thing has really been through a lot. It's cut a lot of stone. And I've pushed on there. I'll put my hand behind it, and I'm like honking down on that thing. And it don't slow. It's got enough beef. It really makes it happen. One of the cool things is that the motor is down low. So the motor is mounted separate of this, and it's belt driven, so some of the vibration is taken away. It's not like, you know, if I put the lap disc directly on a grinder. Okay, so anyways, how about some jokes? You're a great audience. How about I treat you to some funnies? Don't got a lot this week, but I do got a couple that I think are worth coming by to see. But I'll start on the other end of it and then work my way up. It was a slow week at the beginning. I actually made some jokes from Taekwondo, and I need to get... Man, if I don't write my jokes down right away, then I'll lose them. And I'm not the only one. If you go over to the Modern Day Overthinker podcast, which we had Colin on a couple of interviews ago. Oh, that's another thing. I got 2 more interviews recorded in the bag on the way, and one of them is Manhattan comedian Paul Hallisey, and another one of them is Manhattan comedian Helene Witt. So cool. They're really inspiring interviews. And Helene, I call her Manhattan comedian. She wound up going to San Francisco, and she was telling jokes at a club where Robin Williams was telling jokes right around the time of the John Belushi overdose trial. And he was going like, because he was a witness to that or something like that. I don't know. She tells, I got to go through the interview. You guys got to tune in for it because she tells it better than I do. But then she came back to Manhattan to sell jokes to Joan Rivers. So yeah, and she was like she's in a documentary movie and all that kind of stuff with Joe Firestone. And yeah, it's really cool. Really cool to have these interviews coming up. But getting back on track, Colin Strajak said that if you don't write he was talking to Austin Ingalls, who said he'd do an interview, but he doesn't do Zoom, so we got to get that nailed down. And they were like, yeah, if you don't, if you're driving in traffic, it's like, I got to pull over right away, so I'll be talking to somebody and think of one, and I'm like, shut up, I got to write this down. So I actually wound up missing a couple jokes just because it's like they'll come to me right when I lie down and I snuggle up, covers perfect, eyes closed, ready to pass out. And then I think of the joke, and I got to get up and write it down. But then these ones from Taekwondo, I'm in the middle of class. I can't just stop and write them down. So I'm missing a couple of them, but I got a couple of more Taekwondo-related jokes. Is that really the end of the video? That's all right. We're almost done with the show. So, these are Taekwondo related jokes. I found that I really like having a squeaky floor because it makes it easier to pass gas. I've found that, you're getting old when stretching makes you break a sweat. And I like missing a class here and there so I can blame my forgetfulness on the fact that I haven't been to class lately. Let's see. I don't I like eating food, but the problem is I don't want to let it go to waste, which is backwards. I need to make that an actual joke. See, I eat food and then it also goes to waste. Let's see. I went to the gym and boy am I tired. I didn't do any exercises, but I did do some politicizes. And my muscles might not be worn out, but my mouth sure is tired. At least I didn't have to use my brain. Oh, I found that my cat meows at me. I was thinking about saying my girlfriend's cat. It sounds a little more, normal. um, Crazy cat guy. So anyway, my girlfriend's cat meows at me, and so I meow back, and then the cat meows back, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It's just like a conversation of meowing. So I've started asking the cat deep questions. I'll be like, he'll just walk up and meow, and then I'm like, say, I was thinking the same thing. String theory really isn't real, is it? He's like, meow. And then I'm like, even if it has a tachyon, meow. Maybe I should look more into this later, meow. The problem is, sometimes I think he's onto something. Now, that joke is like, the framework is there, but there's no siding, there's no drywall, there's no windows, just wind going through it, kind of like from ear to ear in my head. Let's see, I was in a Zoom meeting for an audition. I'm in the middle of this Zoom meeting and I see a spider and it's distracting, but I'm in the meeting. It's an important meeting. So I look away, and when I look back, the spider's gone. And I'm like, "Oh crap, where did he go?" And here's this spider. I don't know where he is, plotting some kind of attack or something, going to bring all his friends. And I think I screwed up the Zoom meeting, just being worried about where is this super poisonous, deadly spider. Worst thing about it, the spider got the audition. Yeah, that one was kind of halfway put together too. Oh, speaking of Joe, I hear it's two pants weather. Now, it's finally getting cold, so, you got to put on extra pants. So it turns out it's so cold out now, it's two pants weather. Which is cool because Two Pants is my Midwestern rap name. Two Pants is my wintertime rap name. Yeah, Jacob Two Pants. Let's see. Oh, I built a house. Now I need a roof, but I don't have any dogs. Man, that was stupid. Got to tone it down a little bit. The highs, the lows bring the highs, right? This is because I think that a lot of people laugh at wordplay because fun words are fun. If you're on a trampoline, that means you're going boing. That means you're going boing. I like it when I'm going boing. I got a complaint. Yeah. Because, I sat on myself. I told this joke a little while ago, but I'm going to feed into it. I sat on my cell phone and I broke the screen. And it made me think about how hard I am on my cell phone. My poor cell phone, it's been through so much, and yet it's still hanging in there, which makes me wonder if it's into BDSM. And I got a new cell phone, right? But cell phones, they're getting so complicated. They're frustrating to use. It's like they used to have buttons on them. And the buttons, I would push the buttons and it would do the things. And then they got less buttons to where they only had one button. But at least I could still push that one button. I like pushing buttons. And I could push that button and it would do its thing. Then they didn't even have any buttons. They just had those fake buttons down below that kind of pop up and work occasionally. Now, they don't even have those. I'm supposed to like move my finger around like I'm some sort of a Jedi wizard finger spellcaster as I use my cell phone. I mean, I'm used to doing this, not that. I don't know. That one was weird. The punchline is that I'm used to going like this, and the punchline's not even funny. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, it's Thanksgiving week. Got to get together with the family. I don't know what I'm going to wear. I didn't make it to the dry cleaners, so I guess I'll just get some extra use out of my Halloween costume. Yeah. Oh, man. Speaking of cell phones, let's go back a step. I used my phone to look up how to start a fire. It recommended the Tinder app, which told me I need to rub my wood to heat it up. Let's see. Political correctness is getting so bad. The last time I clapped my hand, I'm gonna put a comma in that right now, so I don't screw it up anymore. Okay, political correctness is getting so bad. The last time I clapped, my hands filed domestic charges against me. I think I got 2 more. I decided to buy a new mattress, and I thought I made a mistake until I slept on it. No, I've been trying to reorganize that one. I wrote that one like an hour ago when I was shaping the gem, and I was like, I decided to buy a new mattress, and at first I thought I made a mistake, but then I decided I'd just sleep on it, right? And I was worried I thought I made a mistake, but then I decided I'd just sleep on it. And lastly, and far from leastly, I was wondering, if ladybugs mate, does that make them any less of a lady? I know it doesn't make this any less of the joke portion of the program. And it certainly doesn't make you any less of a fantastic audience member. Sometimes I like pushing buttons. I know, right? It's just part of the process. It's part of the fun. Is it indeed 2-pants weather? Yes, it is. It's wrap around the electric heater season. Exactly. Benny, I gotta buy extra extension cords just so I can drive to work. Quantum Funnies, you are all fantastic. Thanks for coming out and saying hello. I feel called out. What, about the 2-pants or the taekwondo stuff? Probably the squeaky floor joke. Everybody loves a good fart joke. Anyway, I really appreciate you coming by and cheering me up. I hope I cheered you up and energized you for a great week. We're trying to get less negative stuff and more positive stuff on the internet. That's why I do this. That's why I'm happy. The clap hands ones. Okay, thanks, Joe. I'm trying to get those landmark jokes, the ones that make you really think. And so I'm trying to get to that level. And that's why we do the joke portion every week. And that's why we do the show every week. So hopefully I'll see you again next week. And every week at 9 p.m. Eastern. You guys are awesome.